Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the new Superfest NAMI that has released for the members of the Straw Hats post 10th anniversary celebration. And this particular unit, honestly, I'm a big fan of. Like, every NAMI in my eyes is always really, really good. The downside to the unit, though, is that the character's name is NAMI, and with Super Tendo NAMI being an absolute boss how she is, this particular NAMI is probably not going to see as much play. However, they've gone and made her a Dex Cerebral Striker instead of making her a Free Spirit and a Psi unit, which is really, really nice because it gives you a lot more dimensions to the actual character. The character itself as a captain is a little bit lackluster, obviously, because we just had these crazy-ass legends for the 10th anniversary, but for a regular month batch, this character is actually very, very good. Her and the Robin are probably going to see a lot of play in the future. However, I would just let them come to you. So we're going to start it off over in the Kazuna 10-star. This event is gone now, but I did actually use it in some content, and then I thought I would use this for the showcase. I did want to try and do Grand Voyage at Arlong Park, where you need to bring a Cerebral Dex NAMI. And I thought this NAMI would be great, but they slap a bunch of despair on that particular fight, and it just makes it really hard to use this particular unit. But I'm sure something will pop up in the future. I'm sort of tweaking stuff. That fight is actually just an absolute bitch. But we're going to start off, like I said, with the Kazuna 10-star, the side variation here, where we're utilizing Chopper, Jinbei, and Robin Koala as the characters to proc the NAMI super type. But what does she do as a captain? She gives 2 turns of cooldowns, boosts Dex Cerebral Strikers by 5.25, HP by 1.3, and then further boosts attack by 1.1 if you have increased damage taken, delay, poison, defense down, paralysis, and makes Dex Psi tandem moves matching. Boosts the chance of landing on a tandem slot, as well as 10 turns of paralysis removal. She also heals 3 times her recovery at the end of every turn. So, cooldowns, healing, really, really nice. Matching orbs, which is great. A very nice 5.25 times buff. Flat rate, and then this will go up to about a 5.77-ish if you guys have a paralysis ability or a poison, increased damage taken, all of that fun stuff. And most of the time nowadays, you will be applying increased damage taken for your big damage teams, so getting her up to that like 5.7-ish range with the super type is actually pretty decent. But like I said, with the power creep of 10th anniversary, we have like 6.5 times captains now, so it's a little bit hard to compete with that with these regular batch legends. So most of the time, I feel like you're probably going to use her as a sub, but as a captain, you get access to her super type. Her super type's very interesting, where you need 2 of the following characters: Bellamy, Nojiko, Genzo, Herades, Karina, and then any of the Straw Hat characters. For her super class, she's going to give herself 10 turns of cooldown, just like the rest of the memories of the Straw Hat characters. She applies paralysis for 60% for 3 turns, as well as extending the chain lock ability and applying a conditional boost to increase damage taken or paralysis for 3 turns at a 2 times rate. So having her as a captain means you get access to this ability to apply a paralysis, which is great to get that 5.77. But like I said, the 5.77 compared to if you're looking at something like Ace, being a 6.5 times captain for Dex teams, might be a little bit off the mark. But when you're looking at other content, having the paralysis removal, having the healing, it's really, really nice. And the ability to give herself this 5.77 captain is actually pretty nice as well. A lot of people don't like the whole 10 turns of cooldown in the captain ability with the super type, because the characters are on a 14 turn cooldown, 13 if you do have limit break expansion. But the upside to NAMI is that she's a chain boundary unit, and she can work really, really well with a lot of characters that can give cooldowns, namely Ace, who gives 2 turns of cooldowns. You can always use her special on the turn before, utilize the super type to extend that chain lock, being a 3 turn, and then you don't have to worry about it getting blown away, moving into the final stage, and then utilizing her special again. So it does work very, very nicely in that regard, but Nami's special with this whole pseudo double special situation isn't as amazing as some of the other memories of the Straw Hat characters. Her special removes 7 turns of special bind, locks crew slot for 1 turn, changes all slots including block to tandem, boosts the attack of the final tap of a Dex Cerebral or Striker character by 30%, allows increased damage taken to be further increased by a second time, and if you've overhealed 30,000, she sets the chain boundary for 3.5 to 330 for 2 turns, otherwise it's 3.0 to 30, and if you've used her special, she's going to increase the chain lock by 0.5, and then increase the increased damage taken by 0.5 as well. So this last part is obviously where you want to get that pseudo double special activation. If you use her special on, say, turn 4, and then you extend it with her super type, that's going to allow you to get 10 turns of cooldown. However, you apply the condition on the turn before, which is a bit of a problem. But there is a cheeky way of getting around this, and that's utilizing the Tesoro ship. I've been screaming at people to do the Tesoro ship, get it to level 12 as quickly as possible, and get both mods, because it has a hidden ability, I'm going to call it, or a bug. I don't know if it is a bug, if it's meant to work that way, but the ship will extend chain boundary or chain locking abilities by 1 when you apply them without the class benefits. And it's pretty ironic that Nami, the lover of belly, works well with the Grand Tesoro ship, which is made of gold. So that way you can actually get the 3 turns of chain boundary, move into the final stage, and then apply the condition. So she has a very cheeky way of getting around this pseudo double special, and then utilizing something like Ace with his EX, as well as his special to give cooldowns as well. And you can do some really, really nice stuff there. And she synergizes really well with not only Ace, but with Shanks as well. So any characters that synergize really well with the new 10th anniversary Super Sugos is going to be a very, very nice character. However, as I mentioned, I don't really see a world where, one, you're going to be running 2 Namis as a captain, or running Nami as a captain at all. Most of the time, I feel like you're going to use her as a sailor, mainly because she has the ability to remove Special Bind by 7 turns. And in her captain, she doesn't have a way of getting around this. It's a very weird mechanic that they've thrown 7 turns of Special Bind on the character, and then not being able to remove it as a captain just makes it very, very interesting. Her sailor ability, though, gives her the 10 turns of cooldown if you have a Dex, Cerebral, or Striker-based captain. She gets 10 turns. As long as they use their special once, you get that 10 turns of cooldown. And that way you can still activate this pseudo-double special as a sailor as well. What I do find what Nami does well is getting a full bot of tandem orbs nowadays and locking them is so valuable. We've seen it with the 8th anniversary Luffy, the one that just got a 6+4 this Memories of the Straw Hat campaign. We're actually going to use him as captain. He works obviously very, very nicely with this Nami. I feel like he's going to work really, really nicely with every single one of these legends. I think every single one of these legends has a way of working with this particular Luffy. But utilizing her as a sailor and then getting that 10 turns of cooldown, getting the special bind removal that way is going to be really, really nice. Another thing that's going to be really hard to do with Nami is to get that 3.5 times chain boundary. Most of the time you'll see the 3.0, but if you bring someone that does 30,000 healing, and a lot of these 10th anniversary, post-10th anniversary characters do, like Chopper, the rare recruits from her batch, and I believe there's like another character that does exactly 30,000 healing. So you can easily get this, but at the same time, most of the time you're not going to prioritize it. The upside I do find to Nami, where she's going to probably see the most play, is on some big damage teams, where you're utilizing this massive chain boundary, having that 30% final tap, which, look, a lot of people don't love, but when you have something like Yamato running around, and that final tap that she does, this 30% is actually very, very big. Another thing that Nami does really well when she hybrids with characters that can do increased damage taken, the new Robin is the one that they want you to hybrid with her, but as soon as I read this, the first character that came to my mind was Yamato, who has the ability to apply increased damage taken, utilize her version of pseudo double special, get Nami's abilities to go off, so you can use Nami on, say, turn, say it's a super boss Kazuna, use her on turn 2 with the Tesoro ship, you can extend the chain boundary moving into the next stage, have that 3.0 chain boundary, utilize Yamato's special as a captain, you get the 10 turns for Nami, and then use the EX to bring her down even more. That way you get the second part of Nami's special, and you can apply an increase to the increased damage taken at 2 times. The downside is you have to try and find a way to make sure that you're getting Yamato's special that second time, because Yamato is going to increase the increased damage taken to 2.25. Then if you can increase it again, adding the 0.5 that Nami does, and adding the 0.5 to the chain boundary, is going to get you to that 3.5, as well as turn that increased damage taken into a 2.75, which is absolutely massive. Now, Nami does have a final tap. You need 2 of the following characters on the team. Basically exactly the same as her super type, being Bellarmine, Nojiko, Genzo, Herades, and then Karina, and then the Straw Hats. She gives herself a matching slot, sets defensible enemies to 0, and then further boosts the chain multiplier by 2 times. The only part that matters in that is the setting the chain multiplier to 2 times. The rest of it is just whatever. Like, it's setting defense to 0 as a final tap sucks. Changing your own slot to matchings, whatever. Like, it is what it is. But then boosting the chain multiplier by 2 times is actually a pretty good final tap. For myself, Yamato's always going to be the final tap for a Dex team. I don't ever see a world where you're going to use her, Nami over her. But hey, there might be a situation where you need a higher chain, and that's where it's going to come in. As mentioned, her Sailor ability removes Special Bind by 7 turns, and she makes Tandem Moves matching for Cerebral Strikers and Dex characters, and then she has that ability to give herself 10 turns of cooldown. She has a very interesting support as well going on. Nojiko, Genzo, Karina, Heredias, and Bellamere. Basically, anyone that isn't the Straw Hats in her super type, she gives 3 turns of Special Bind inflicted she removes 3 turns of Special Bind. I believe this is for the entire crew as well, which is absolutely insane. It's a disgustingly strong support, but the only downside is it's a NAMI, and most of the time you're probably going to find her way to put her on the team. So overall, the NAMI in regular play is very, very good. I do love her for an end-of-month legend. I think she's a fantastic end-of-month legend. Not enticing enough to make people summon for her, but still enticing enough to be in the realm of a very, very good character. Her PvP is a lot of fun, and I'd love to see if they do some more stuff with strikers. As a captain, she's got cooldowns. She can do some funky stuff. She's got a little bit of bulkiness with healing. She can apply a paralysis, obviously, with her super type, which comes with her captain ability. So you can do some really, really cool stuff with her. She also has Hunger and Slob Bind, which is great. Great limit break abilities. And obviously, because she's a NAMI, she has access to a disgusting amount of powerful supports. Like, disgusting amount. As, like, a regular player goes on, I feel like you're probably going to use Super Tandem NAMI, like, 9 times out of 10. I don't really see a world where you're going to be using this NAMI over Super Tandem NAMI. But hey, like I said, there might be a world where you need that chain boundary. You're building, like, a mono dex team, and you're building that kind of Yamato-type build out. But she does some pretty cool stuff. Like I said, chain boundary is not exactly the greatest buff nowadays, but it's still a very powerful mechanic with all of these attack down below a certain chain value, and being an ability to be up to starting at a 4 times, and then you throw, I don't know, like Zoro Sanji into the mix as well, and then you're getting it up to like a 6 times and doing some crazy stuff with the chain. It's very interesting what she'll be able to do in terms of these big damage teams. But I thought I'd throw her on the team with a bunch of Straw Hats, take on Heavily Demon 2 with there's a shit ton of paralysis, plus there's a shit ton of Special Bind. So I really wanted to showcase how that Sailor ability can work to your favor. I wanted to do some stuff with Yamato, but kind of just ran out of time with everything that's going on right now, to be honest. I might make a shorts and see if we can increase that increased damage taken some way, and do some funky stuff there. But I have to find the right quest that doesn't, like, die in that first type of regard, because NAMI, it's going to be very hard to actually get all of that to proc, as well as build out the right team for said content. But I can definitely see it working in some super big damage events. I'd love it, like a sandbag ability, to just throw all of these crazy characters into a team and sort of go from there. But at the moment, this is what I'm working with. And like I said, I tried to squeeze on as many Straw Hat characters as I possibly could to make the team look a little bit more fun and get it done actually no stalling too, which was really easy to do. Obviously, nowadays with these power creep units, like, doing stuff like this old content is just a lot of fun, I guess the best way to put it. I did put out a showcase with NAMI in PvP. Make sure you guys go check out that. That was a really, really fun team, and her abilities in Rumble are just so damn good that I'd love to see what a really good PvP legend that's Striker would do for the team, or having another really, really good legend that can kind of just sort of gel all the Striker characters together. But all in all, Nami's a really, really good legend. If you do pick her up in the future on a ticket, be very, very happy. She's a one-and-done legend. You don't need dupes, so Final Tap sucks anyway. So, like, you just pick up one copy of this character, and you're going to be off to the races and having a really, really good time. But that's going to wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. While you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in these beautiful worlds, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Let's